Welcome. Hey, everybody.
It ain't no telling what I'm gonna do.
Welcome to the show. Hey. It's that grown and sexy time. Hey, guys.
Feeling good, feeling like you never felt.
What's going on? Hey. Y'all know what time it is.
Just like ice cream.
We have a letter. Okay?
And honey, my love.
We got a sister out there sending out distress signals because her man is acting up. But hey, guys, how are you? Hey. This is only for the grown and sexy. If you are not grown and sexy and mature-minded and ready to have a good time, this ain't for you, baby. I ain't your cup of tea. But you can keep scrolling. I won't be offended. But hey, guys, welcome to Talk That Talk, DivaSpeaks Relationships. My name is Angela Patariel of DivaSpeaks Relationships. And I want to welcome you to this show. Thank you for the love. Hello. Thank you for the love. I'm sending it right back. But we got a letter from a woman who's got a serious issue with her man. And I don't know if anyone out there has ever been in this woman's shoes, or if you are subject to go through it in the future. But let me tell you something. This one is heartbreaking, but it's worthy of a conversation. Yeah, we need to talk about it. So I'm going to turn this Tyrone Davis down. What y'all know about that Tyrone Davis? I got any real, true rhythm and blues people in the house? You know, the kind of blues that you get deep down in the dirty South, like the Mississippi Delta or Memphis, Tennessee. Any of y'all know about that? You probably don't, but that's okay. I love you anyway. Yes. Hello. Thank you for tuning in and stopping by once again to talk that talk of DivaSpeaks Relationships. My name is Angela Patariel. I am the diva of the brand, the business, the ministry, the cable show, the Roku show, the satellite show. You know, I'm everywhere. But that's not what we came to talk about. So I'm going to turn him down just a little bit more. Let's get into this letter, shall we? Go get in the mood, okay? She been trying to get her man in the mood, but he don't want to act right, okay? Some of these spouses don't want to act right, but don't get discouraged. So anyway, so our good sis says, I don't believe my husband is attracted to me anymore. I don't believe my husband is attracted to me, even though he tells me that he wants me and does everything possible to show it. That's what she said, okay? That's how it starts out, okay? She says a man, you know, says he wants her and he does everything possible to show it. I don't believe him. 6 months ago, he told me everything. No, he did everything to make me feel unwanted. I won't reveal the details because for the first time, it's not about him. It is about me. I can't believe that he wants me sexually and that he is still attracted to me. Also, I have constant doubts that if another woman starts flirting with him, that he will not refuse her. He says that I'm the only one that he has eyes for and that he doesn't want anyone else. I don't know how to start believing him after everything that has happened. I can say that there was no cheating. I'm going to repeat that. I don't know how to start believing him after everything that has happened. I can say that there was no cheating. How can I cope with this and start trusting him? He does a lot of things for me, but it doesn't change the way that I feel. Now, that's what she wrote. That's what she said. And if it's a lie, she told it. I didn't. If you're just now tuning in, we got a good sister that wrote in that she refuses to believe that her husband is still attracted to her. She says about 6 months ago, what her husband, her man did was he did everything in his power to convince her that he didn't want her. So now a few months later, now she's having trouble believing him when he says that he does. And she wants to know, how can she start believing him again? That's what she said. That's what she wants to know. And I'm going to say this. Stop refusing to believe your intuition. What good is intuition if you're not going to use it? What good? You said about 6 months ago he did everything in his power to convince you that he didn't want you, but you refused to go into detail about what those things were. But he did a pretty good job in convincing you that he did not want you, for whatever reason. You said later on down in the letter that I can say that there was no cheating. You see, those are two conflicting, that's a conflicting statement and an event. Have you ever asked yourself, why was your husband so hell-bent on convincing you that he didn't want you? Did you ever get to the nitty-gritty or to the bottom or the root of the thing that was causing your husband to go out of his way to let you know that you was not wanted? And in the meantime, in between time, what has changed that now he is trying to let you know that or convince you that he does? I don't know any woman in my circle that would not think that there is a third party involved. And I would tell you that, number one, your intuition is kicking in and you're refusing to believe it. Number two, it is not your responsibility to fix something that your man broke. However, it is your responsibility to show up for restoration in that marriage if it is possible. Your husband has been acting a fool because another woman or a third party, could be another man, someone else has been involved. You said that your man said that he only has eyes for you and he only wants you. Well, 6 months ago he didn't. 6 months ago he didn't even want you. He did everything in his power to convince you that he didn't. And now that you have actually taken it upon yourself to believe your husband when he convinced you that he didn't want you, now he's trying to make you feel like you're crazy. You just supposed to believe him like that? No, what your man is lazy. See, he don't want to fix what he broke. He don't want to fix what he broke. And it breaks my heart to read what your response was in the letter about, you still believe that if another woman came his way and flirted with him, you're saying he ain't gonna even refuse. Sis, you are in denial. You're in denial. That man has married you, but he has continued his search. That man has married you and locked you into a committed covenant that he has no plans on honoring. That man is sharing himself with somebody else. I have found in my 50 years on this earth that usually when a man goes out of his way to make you feel bad, to belittle you, to devalue you, to show you that he does not want you, I have found in my many, many, many years on this earth, there's always a woman behind it. DivaSpeaks from 2021, 2020 wouldn't have ever said that. DivaSpeaks of 2023 is convinced. Anytime a man goes out of his way to mistreat you, goes out of his way to let you know that he wants out of the relationship and or out of his way to convince you that you ain't what he wants, he means that. It's another woman involved in the picture. And typically when they backpedal or they backtrack and then they want to place the onus on you, is because something fell by the wayside in that other relationship or that other illicit affair, or they got disappointed by the person that they were mistreating you for. That's just, that's just what my experience has taught me. It sounds like you are in a marriage with a man who feels either one that you don't add value to his life, who wants out of the covenant, or who feels like he's settled for you. Because you know that if another woman crosses his path, he will take the bait. So are you willing to sit by and allow yourself to be mistreated with every new encounter that he experiences, with every new woman that crosses his path, and he feels like he owes it to himself to sample the goods? Are you willing to be a participant in your own mistreatment? Don't do it. You said, let me wake you up. You said that you said, I have constant doubt that if another woman starts flirting with him, he will not refuse her. He will not refuse her. So you know that he is not commitment minded. Being in a marriage is more than about being feeling a certain type of way. Feelings, like emotions, they fluctuate. They like roller coasters. They go up and down. But the one thing about being in a committed relationship and or a covenant is you choose to stay committed during those times when temptation is before you. I choose not to indulge in an illicit affair. I choose not to entertain the conversation of someone that I find sexually attractive, because I have committed my life to this particular person, and I am not going to backpedal on my promises, because my word is everything. If I break my word and I break my vows, then what does that say about me? What does that say about what you have to look forward to? So you got a man that has continued his search. You got a man that is doing very little to reassure you that he made a mistake in devaluing you and belittling you. You got a man that has not even offered you a reason as to why he treated you so badly. And I'm disappointed in you as a woman for not wanting to get to the bottom of his behavior. Because if you never address it, if you never ask the questions, what made you treat me so bad? What made you go out of your way to convince me that you didn't want me, that you're not sexually attracted to me? What was behind all of that? What motivated you to do this to me? What influenced your actions towards me? Because I'm your wife. I'm not some random one night stand woman that it was a hit it and quit it. I'm your goddamn wife. And this is how you chose to treat me. So no, we can't move past it until I get to the bottom and I'm satisfied with the answers that you were giving me. But you haven't done that. What you've done is take it upon yourself, okay? You're trying to shoulder the responsibility of fixing something that your man broke. These men have problems with a lot of us, because I said us because I'm a woman. These men have problems with us women because they say that we try to take over the things that they were designed to do. These men often tell women that they get tired of their women trying to do things that they were supposed to do. Could this be one of those things that you need to let go? Let him fix it. Let it go. Let him fix it. He has planted the seeds of doubt into a holy covenant. He has laid the seeds for insecurity in the marriage. He's got you feeling unstable in your marriage. This is supposed to be a safe place and a safe space for the both of you. And now you're writing letters because you can't talk to your man about what he's done. I can almost promise you that whatever he was doing when he was doing all of that to you to convince you that he didn't want you no more, that chick has left him or she dumped him for whatever reason. He didn't have any power in that relationship. And once he got his face cracked, now he's trying to backpedal on how he made you feel without taking on the responsibility of fixing it. How could he not? How could he lay down next to you every night, make love to you, look into your eyes or your face every day, and not feel the pain or experience some of the hurt that he's put you through? And how can you just not address it? You cannot fix something by sweeping it under the rug. Sweetheart, find the courage to have the conversation, to get to the root of it. And if you really feel like this man is not capable of being faithful to you, is this something that you really want to continue to invest time in? I am one of those women that my loyalty in a relationship, in a marriage, is almost like my fault. It's almost like a character flaw. Because I was raised by older parents. I was raised in a 2-parent household, a mother and a father. They were married for 53 years until the day that she died first and he died literally a year later. And all of their friends and their circle were married people. That has been my entire life growing up, you know. I said that to say that I hold marriage in such a high regard that sometimes even myself, I don't know sometimes how to disassociate what I saw and I experienced as my example to modern day living and standards. I wanted you to know that before I say this, that at some point you got to know when it's time to let go of a person that's being low down to you and is not good for your mental health. And if he's out there, like I suspect he's out there, we are living in 2023. You don't want to be one of those women that end up going innocently to a gynecologist for your regular, your well woman checkup, and you are delivered some bad news because you've been with a wayward spouse and you had firsthand knowledge that they was out here in these streets, but you continued to lay down with a man that you know was cheating on you. You can't play victim when you had the information all along. You cannot play both sides of the fence. Sis, wake up. It's not your fault. It's not your responsibility to fix this. But it is your responsibility to start showing up for yourself. Baby, you better than this. You are. You are. You deserve to be treated way better than what he has treated you. Don't let that man get away with treating you like shit and then saying, well, I don't feel that way, and you're just supposed to accept it when his actions led you to believe him in the first place. So should not his actions now, start to undo the damage that was done? You'll be all right. You'll be all right. You just needed to hear some harsh truth. So, guys, on my way out, because my man is upset that I had to get on live because he just be popping, right? On my way out, I will tell you guys that the letter was about this. One of our good sisters, she says she doesn't believe that her husband is attracted to her anymore. He spent the last 6 months tearing her down, being verbally abusive to her. He did everything within his power through his words and actions. Now, I'm filling in the blanks with that one. He did everything in his power to convince his wife that he didn't want her. He did it. Been there, done that before. Okay? Can I say that? I'm going to say that. Been there, done that before. I have been on the receiving end of somebody that I loved with all my heart, treating me like I was nothing, pure, sure evil. And it was like the nicer I was, the more loving I was, the harder I prayed, the nastier he became. The more I clung to God, the more hateful he became. And it was like he did everything in his power to show me, convince me that I was not who he wanted. So I know, okay, personally from experience, what that feels like to be broken down, to have a broken heart behind somebody that you truly loved and you didn't see it going in that direction. But the joy that you will feel after letting go of somebody that has treated you so terrible is nothing compared to this. You will feel absolute joy when you let it go, when you accept that this person is not good to you, nor is this person good for you. I know. You ain't gonna do it right now. It takes a little bit of time. I remember when it happened to me. It took me some time. It's like I was on a slow bus. I was on the slow bus. I was like, devil, you can't have this, praying in tongues, stayed on prayer lines, did everything possible, cried, slung snot, just everything. And at the end of the day, all of that's not healthy. If you got to do all of that constantly just to be able to have peace and to feel loved and to feel wanted in any relationship, whether that's a committed relationship like me or marriage, a marriage, it's mental health over and peace over everything right about now. And I don't think God would want you to be suffering at the hands of somebody who is treating you like crap. Let God deal with him if you don't want to deal with it, and do what you need to do to make sure you're okay. But if you're going to stay with that man, you need to woman up and have the conversation with him. And that's all I got for tonight, guys. I have given a show on the latest letter, but you know what? When I come on, I do feel like the letters that I choose are the ones that are worthy of a conversation. I think that with me starting to open up and share with you guys some of the things that I know that I can relate to has helped a great bit too. But if women like this and women like myself don't talk about some of the things that we go through in some of these relationships and marriages, then how will other women find the courage to even face whatever they're going through? It's not about telling your business. It's about sharing something that the next woman can know that I'm not in this alone. This is not only happening to me. There's another woman out there that I'm looking at on this screen right now who says that she's been through the same thing. And look at her now. Look it. Life moved on, and life moved on quite nice. And it can be the same for you too. Love is out there. There's somebody out there that will treat you well. There's somebody out there that will get a hold of you, and you will love every bit of it. And you'll look back on this man, this husband that you're with, and you'll say, how could I have ever allowed myself to be treated so poorly? Why did I think that was okay in those moments, just to be able to hold on to that relationship? You'll look back. Once you move past it and you find the courage to say, I deserve better, and I'm gonna go get better, I promise you it's gonna be sweet. I promise you that it will get better. I promise you that life will treat you so kind. I promise you that God will give you the grace. I sit here telling you from experience that life gets good. And don't even focus on, is he gonna get his, or will him or her get theirs? When you get with somebody that treats you right and loves you right and respects you, you won't even care what happened to the person that mistreats you. I can promise you that. So this has been Talk That Talk with Angela Patarial. It is always my pleasure to come and do a live show with you guys. Don't forget that my actual talk show airs every second and fourth Friday of the month on Spectrum Cable, AT&T Uverse, and it's a lot of other places. But I think I have a treat. This next show, I think I got my dates right. This next show, I will be at the station. I'll be filming from the television station for my next show. That's why I was like, counting, I think, Wednesday. So, my next talk show, I will be filming from the station. I was trying to get a studio audience, some locals from Charlotte, but I haven't gotten clearance from the general manager yet. But if I do, I'll come back and do another live and say, anybody from Charlotte want to meet me at the station and be a part of my studio audience? But my next show, it is my goal to film from the station, and I'll probably bring you guys on live for the after show, like behind the scenes or whatever, and kind of switch it up a little bit. So to the good sis that wrote in, let my life be a testimony. The little bit that I've shared is that, baby, I promise you it gets better. Once you let go of a bad news dude, that's like my new slogan, a bad news dude. Once you let go of somebody that's treating you poorly and you've been giving them chance after chance to get it right and they refuse to, girl, It gets so much better. It gets so much better. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I don't even recognize myself. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm impressed by what I see. Not being vain. I'm just saying I feel I look better. I feel better. I look better because I feel better. I feel better because I'm not being treated poorly. You know what I'm saying? I can show up and I can smile and I can glow. I can be a little sassy. I can be funny. I can be loving. I can pour into people because I'm not being mistreated. You know, once you get away from that, once you let go of, I got to fix it, I got to restore it. Once you let go of all of that, baby, the glow up is real. I feel I have never looked as good as I look in my 50s. Some people may say, no, bitch, you lying. I feel like that. I don't even recognize myself because that weight has been lifted. I don't carry that stress in my face. I don't carry that stress in my body. You know what I'm saying? My body looks good. My face looks better. My skin, well, I've always had good skin, but you know what I'm saying with it. So just let that be a source of encouragement to you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Talk That Talk with DivaSpeaks Relationships. I hope that you guys will watch my next talk show that airs on television. Like I said, the goal is to film at the studio, at the station, because I have Studio A reserved for me. And I got one of my all-time favorite directors that said that he will come in and direct my show for me. So I'm so blessed, guys. If I haven't said that, I really thank you guys. I thank you for, viewing the show. I feel like getting emotional right now because life is so good. I really know where that sister's coming from. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. Thank you, Jesus. That is not my story anymore. But if you have a story and you want some advice, I keep it anonymous. Visit my website, diva-speaks-official.com. My website address is my email address is on my website. And my email address is divaspeaksofficial@gmail.com. I don't go live with people I do not know. On the spur of the moment, I don't. What was I? My email address is divaspeaksofficial@gmail.com, or you can utilize one of my inboxes on my social media platforms, or you can just visit my website. Once again, that is diva-speaks-official.com. That is my web address, and I hope to see you guys the very next time. I see somebody saying something. Hold on, guys. Let me read. Let me be respectful. Yes, I truly agree. It feels good. Chappelle, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It really does. I'm going to tell you something. I never thought during that time when things were happening, when things were going south, and I was being treated so poorly, I never thought outside of coming out of it. My whole focus at that time, during that time in my life, was, trying to get things back in order, trying to make that person see my value, wanting that person to love me again, wanting that person to, come back into the relationship wholeheartedly with me. That's where my focus was. I didn't even entertain the idea or embrace the idea that you don't have to be treated like that. Like you shouldn't have to convince a person to remember their commitment to you. You should never have to beg a person to treat you right or ask for an explanation as to why that person is treating you so bad. Like, I get that we can have our ups and downs. I get that life will happen in the relationship and we may not always see eye to eye, but when you go to great lengths to destroy me emotionally, to tear me down, to make me feel as if I mean nothing to you, this doesn't mean anything to you, then it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go for real, because whatever is on the other side of it, even if you know, my mindset now is I've kind of steered away so heavy from restoration. Not that I don't believe in it. I absolutely believe in it. That's part of my ministry. But I feel that when you start talking to people about restoration and sticking it out without knowing specifics of their specific relationship or what they're going through, sometimes you're asking a person to stay in a marriage or a relationship that is unhealthy for them, that is going to have long-term effects on them. And even you, with your good intentions and your scriptures, can do more harm than good if you're encouraging a person to fight for something that is not healthy for them and that could destroy them in the long run. I have learned over the past 365 days that there are a lot of vultures and false prophets on that journey as well, which is one of the reasons why I backed away from it, because you got people out there that are selling false hope. You have people out there that are telling you that God told them things that I personally don't feel that God has told them to tell certain people. I don't feel that it is right to use God for likes and comments. I don't feel like it's right to lie on God and spread it to the masses, knowing that vulnerable people out there that are desperate to save their relationships, their families, their marriages. You know, you're preying on the vulnerability of the brokenhearted. Let me say that again. You're preying on the vulnerability of the brokenhearted when you speak things that are not true, when you speak in general to people that I just don't think it's right. And then I think too, if the person that is hurting so bad that they're desperate, right, gets a hold of that message and it's not from them and it wasn't from God, then you have participated in a person standing still, not in that marriage or that relationship, but standing still and staying stuck in that place and in that space in their life. I think that's dangerous. I think that is a dangerous game that I refuse to be a part of. I'm not participating in that. Unless, and it's not my business, unless God specifically tells me to tell someone to fight for something after he's told you, then I just, yeah, you see me switch and kind of pivot a little bit, because I know what I see. I know in my journey and in my ministry what I have listened to, like I said, over the past 365 days, and I don't want to be guilty of that. I don't want to be guilty of delivering false hope. I don't want to be guilty of enabling a person while they, again, were vulnerable and they're desperate to save their relationship and their marriage and they're wanting to hear from the voice of God. I don't want to be a tool for the enemy to take you off course, because maybe that is not what God wants for you. You know, the Bible does tell us that no good thing will God withhold from you. I also believe that if it's something that will destroy you, he doesn't want you to stay in it. And if you got a person that is abusing you emotionally and tearing you down, or physically abusive, or someone that is sexually promiscuous in a covenant, you got to get the hell up out of there. And, you know, telling people that they lack faith because they choose not to stand for being mistreated, again, that's a dangerous game. That's another conversation for another show. I plan on tapping more into this when I go into the studio at the station. When I go to the station to tape, I believe it's Wednesday of next week, I'm going to talk about it. You know, I just kind of came through with it tonight. But yeah, we can't be so desperate to save something that is going to be to our detriment. And I'm going to leave it at that. This has been Angela Patareal of DivaSpeaks Relationships. I hope that I have poured into somebody. I hope that somebody can relate. I hope that you enjoyed the show. I love you guys. You guys have an amazing night.